Had some technical difficulties, but shout out to my super engineer JC. Came through and saved the day for the podcast. Yo, it's been one of them days. Let's just talk about it for a second. Let's just get it out there, a little therapy session, man. First, we wake up and I guess a water main broke or something. So, you know, we've been having some water issues around the neighborhood. So, you know, be getting no water pressure. All of the restaurants are closed. I couldn't get my coffee. Starbucks is closed, which is a national emergency. You know what I mean? So I'm running around trying to find some food, and then
I got a slight headache because I think I drank a little bit of the water.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, it's been I feel like the hottest day of the summer. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's one of them days where you got to persevere and just keep it pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, try to think positive. But fresh off vacation vibes, like I was saying, you know what I mean? Shout out to New Orleans, man. We had a great time in New Orleans for a few days. Good food, good people. Mm-hmm. You know, how did you like New Orleans?
I had an amazing time. I didn't realize how fun New Orleans was. Amazing time.
Shout out to the Big Easy, man. Good food. Yo, I highly recommend. It's a spot on Bourbon Street. It's called Redfish Grill. Anytime I go to New Orleans, I go to the same spot. Mm-hmm. They got these barbecue oysters to kill for. Nah, real talk. Mm-hmm. So shout out to the barbecue oyster family. Anytime I go, as soon as you coming down Canal Street, you make that left on Bourbon, and it's the first restaurant. You might walk about 20 feet and get up in Bourbon. It's the first restaurant on the left. And the food is amazing, but it's all kind of good food over New Orleans. But them barbecue oysters, no cap, them barbecue oysters, man. And I've been trying to find them other places, and they never do them right, man. I got to get that recipe.
Is it the one that's fried?
Yeah,
Oh. And it has like 3 sauces on it.
I don't know the recipe to the sauce. I just know this barbecue, man. I don't know if it's Slap Your Mama. I don't know if it's, you know, Louisiana hot sauce. I don't know if it's Evander Holyfield. I don't know. But, you know, Bobby Brown got a barbecue sauce too. I don't know. But anyway,
Uncle Ben.
Whoever, man. But at the end of the day, try y'all some barbecue oysters, man. But we gonna get into it, man. You know, I actually spoke about this before. You know, the rapper Trouble, but I didn't have a chance to do a real podcast on it, right? And y'all pardon me, man. My allergies kind of crazy today, but you know, rest in peace to Trouble. You know, in no way, shape, or form do I want to make a mockery of this man's death. Right. But we got to speak on it. It just is what it is.
Right.
So, a lot of people don't even know who Trouble is. Trouble was mostly a local Atlanta rapper.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, he was pretty big in Atlanta. So if you're from Atlanta, you know Trouble from Duct Tape. You know, that was his crew, at least at one time. Him, Alley Boy, a couple other guys. Some of his music was decent. I didn't have a problem with Trouble. But Trouble was a ladies' man. You know what I mean? Like, he liked the women liked Trouble. And Trouble got himself into a little trouble. So what happened was, and this is some of the reports that came out. We don't know everything for sure, but Trouble was over a woman's house. This was the reports. He was over a woman's house. You know, obviously they was doing whatever. Now Trouble fell asleep in the bed.
Wow.
And the woman's ex-boyfriend, obviously he had a key, or some reports say he broke into the house. I think he had a key. And so Trouble comes up in the crib the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend comes up in the crib while Trouble was asleep. And he started to get into an altercation with the woman. You know what I mean? This woman and the woman on the thumbnail. And they get into a screaming match and a physical altercation. So Trouble get involved and try to intervene. And the guy put out a gun and shot Trouble. Now, what's crazy about this whole situation, and that's why I said when creeping goes wrong,
Right.
because at the end of the day, it's like, for one, you got to be careful who house you going over. You know what I mean? If you just meet a woman that day or that week, dog, where's the vetting process?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought about. Like, okay, clearly he didn't really know this woman that well. And I get it. You know what I mean? You want to have some fun, and that's what you did, but ultimately it cost you your life. And a lot of times, that stuff be based around male ego. Black male ego in particular. Because if you think about it, Trouble is a rapper that often rapped about sleeping with other men's women.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
Right.
So the same activities that made him a decent rapper, that made him some money in a rap game, is what got him killed. And a lot of black men don't understand that the same culture that we are setting, that we live by, that we abide by as men, is truly the culture that's hurting us and ultimately costing us our lives. I don't think a lot of black men see it like that because, we just don't like accountability. I got to be honest. A lot of black men not really feeling the accountability.
That's true.
We think like children a lot of times, but everything you do in life got consequences. So he don't understand. And if you look at the thumbnail with the guy that shot Trouble, he look a little crazy.
He does. That looked like, was that a mugshot?
I think it was a mugshot.
Wow. Yeah, he looked crazy.
So, you know what I mean?
Woman did too.
Well, you know what I mean? She looked like a thotty body from Atlanta.
Right.
That wanted to have some fun with a rapper. But, clearly she got some things going on, and you got a crazy ex-boyfriend. She need to be more careful, but and in a situation like that, I charge the woman guilty of being a thot, but I put the blame on Trouble.
Yeah.
Because as a man, you should know better. You laying up in somebody's house not knowing if this other man's still paying rent there, which he probably was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or he's still giving this woman money, or still giving this woman time, or maybe they got a child together. Who knows? So if a man comes up in the crib with the suspicion of another man being there, that's temporary insanity.
Yeah.
Any man is going to lose his shit. Like, dog. Especially, you know how some of these crazy dudes be. Like, they get so attached to these women, and
they pop up at your house unannounced. Like, that's a real name.
No doubt. I mean, they be circling the block and all this stuff. So, thanks for that $5 super chat, Tina Love. Tina Love said, because of Castle Doctrine, the shooter going free. I mean, it is what it is. If the other man's name was somewhere on that lease or electric bill or water bill, and he got a key, he very well could get off for murder. You see what I'm saying? Especially because the fact that him and the woman got into an altercation, but Trouble intervened. He can say, I feared for my life. It was a strange man in my house.
Right.
And this is when creeping goes wrong. We truly don't understand the consequences of our actions because, if you're going to be creeping with a woman that you really don't know, you a rapper, you got money, you walk around with Rolexes and jewelry on, why can't you get a hotel room? Top floor at the Marriott, the Four Seasons, the Roosevelt. You know what I mean?
5 stars.
5 stars. I mean, like, he's a rapper, you got money, so you want to have a good night with a young lady. That's not against the law, but do it the right way. You falls asleep at the girl house. Thanks for that super chat, DJ 813. Just stopping by. Got to show love to Boogie and Rose. 100 back to you. So I'm like, dog, why don't you go get a hotel for a week, book it out for the week, and wild out? That way you ain't got to worry about all the extra bull crap, and you ended up losing your life. Senseless violence, for one. a woman you don't know her circumstances, and I'm like, man, who want to go out like that?
This should be a learning lesson for all the men that don't want to date a woman. They just want to sleep with women. Had he, it's the mindset for me. That's what it is.
You know what it is? It's black male ego at its finest. If you think about hip hop, because Trouble's a rapper, his career was a rapper, right? Mm-hmm. And hip hop music, not all of it, but a lot of it is predicated on ego shit. How much money I got? I'm better than you. My car is better than yours. I'll sleep with your woman. Just the braggadocious, ego-filled, egotistical BS, right? A lot of rappers, that's what they rap about. Some of it we like, some of it we don't like, but it is what it is. So words mean something. So if you make a career talking about sleeping with other men's women, or I'll fuck your bitch, or I'll do this, or you know what I'm saying, don't bring your girl around me, true player for real. Well, every dude ain't playing that.
Right.
You're going to get a crazy dude that's going to come see you, man. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I bet you 10 times out of 10, if Trouble can do that over, he would have left that girl alone. Nobody sleeps with a woman, or a woman even sleeps with a man, thinking that they're going to end up losing their life over this experience. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Which is crazy. But, again, when a man's ego is bigger than his reality, or the circumstances that he may be walking into, there's no talking to that man. You know what I mean? You lit, you popping, the women liking you, you making money, da-da-da-da-da. Can you really talk to a man like that? He like, nah, nigga, I'm having my way. Ain't nobody gonna touch me.
He think he untouchable.
Or at least if you're gonna be creeping in somebody else's crib, you should be protecting yourself. You should be strapped up too.
Right.
But why even go through all that? Just leave the damn girl alone.
That's too hard though, because vagina is so high up on the list of priority that's too hard. I believe that he would have still dealt with her even if she told him, yeah, I got a man. Let's talk about that. How many men still pursue women that they don't care about that?
That's a fact. Like, typically, if a dude roll up on a woman trying to spit game and she be like, nah, I'm in a relationship, the first thing out of niggas' mouth is, can you have a friend?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of...
What that got to do with me?
What that got to do with me, or, you know what I mean? Like, so what? Yeah. A lot of dudes don't care. And it is what it is. But they care when they start to lose their life and getting shot at, and, you know what I mean, end up maybe in handcuffs one day over this shit. And it's just not worth it, man. Out of all the women in Atlanta, and if anybody know anything about Atlanta, it's like 5-6 to 1 ratio between women and men. So what's the problem with just leaving that chick alone? Like, you know what? This is trouble. No pun intended. Mm-hmm. This is some trouble I'm getting myself into. Let me go ahead and leave her alone. Maybe I'll see her later in life when her situation is a lot more cleaned up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my thing. So when creeping goes wrong, and I mean, honestly, the only one still living is the woman.
Yeah.
The guy's in prison that shot him. Trouble's dead. And then you got the woman. She's still on the street. And she lit. All she gonna do is go out, write a book, do some interviews, make a couple $dollars off of it, and...
get herself into more trouble.
Excuse me, find her another trouble.
Right.
Find her another trouble. So, a lot of this shit gotta stop, man, when creeping goes wrong. And y'all pardon me, man, my allergies bother me a little bit. Y'all bear with your boy. But yo, moving on from that, man, because I just thought this was a very compelling story, because I'm like, dog, when you walk out your house in the mornings as a man, you living your life, you gonna bump into all kinds of women. Some women might like you, some women might not like you. You getting sexual advances, whatever the case. You never think that dealing with a woman, I may lose my life over this. But you don't understand that a man will kill you over his wife or girlfriend, baby mother, whatever the case is. A dude gonna come see you about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had my run-ins with guys that was encroaching on my territory. Like, I've had to, because for me it's about principle. I'm sorry, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when my ego was out of control. And you know, I found out that somebody I was dealing with was creeping with somebody at the job, and I went up to the job and showed my ass. It's just principle. It wasn't even about the woman. It was just principle. Like, you know what, man? I just feel disrespected. So, I don't like this feeling. So I wanted to do something about it. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. I wanted to do something about it. I may not have. This was maybe 9 years ago. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I may not do that today.
Mm-hmm.
But when you caught up in the moment, it's kind of like when Will Smith slapped the gums off of Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I understand being caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. It's very hard to calm yourself down once you made your mind up that, you know what, I'm going to slap the molars out this nigga mouth.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do that, man.
Nothing else matters in that moment.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you demented at that time. It's like you having an out-of-body experience. I've been there, man. And a woman can take a man there. Love is a powerful drug.
Yeah.
It really is, man. Love is a powerful thing. But anyway, I just think it's ill. You know what I'm saying? That dudes are still losing their life over women. And it's like, dog, there's so many fish in the sea. Why you so attached to that one?
Damn. Yeah. It's sad.
It's trifling. That's what it is, man. So, you know, again, rest in peace to Trouble. But if you ask me, he brought that on himself. I can't blame the woman, because the woman didn't put a weapon to his head and say, "Come to my house and fall asleep on my bed."
Yeah.
He made a conscious, sober decision to go over this woman's house without vetting this woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, real talk. Not understanding the circumstances, and then you a novice because you fall asleep over the girl's house.
How can you get that comfortable?
Well, I guess.
Well, he wouldn't know. Who would know? Somebody's gonna come in and kill him.
I guess the sex was so good. I'm gonna start sucking on his thumb and take a nap and shit. Sometimes it be like that.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But who knows, man? I just think it's just an ill dynamic, man. You know what I mean? And you got another black man in prison for murder. Like, do we really need that on our rap sheets? You know what I mean? It's 1.5 million black men in prison, and he's another one.
Damn.
Over something senseless that could have been avoided. And we could say maybe he shouldn't have came in the house. She shouldn't have brought him over there. Ultimately, I blame Trouble, because it's your responsibility to leave out the house in the morning and come back home. And you know what that means? Staying away from people, places, and things that can cause you harm.
Mm-hmm.
But the black male ego. Damn. Black men don't understand that the culture that we promote is killing us. Hip-hop. Look how many rappers going to jail or passing away. Either from drugs, violence, going to prison.
Too many.
I mean, I never seen nothing like this, but this is the same culture that guys promote. And what do? They go blame the white man. Oh, I want to blame this system. Oh, it's a war on... No, stop it, dog. Stop it, dog. The same griminess that you promote, debauchery, effery, violence, skullduggery, all that, the same stuff that you promote in your music is going to come back and is going to come see you because you put that energy out there.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all something. I just got to speak on this. It's been on my mind. So I took my daughter to the pool. I was on vacation. I took my daughter to the pool. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me reset the room. Never You Podcast, man, coming at you live on a lovely Tuesday night. I got the beautiful Rose in the building, my lovely co-host that loves to do the most.
Oh, hi guys.
And so I took my daughter to the pool when I was in Florida, still on vacation. Mm-hmm. And so when I took her to the pool, like originally wasn't nobody in the pool. Coast was clear. She jumped in having fun. About 5 minutes later, these badass little boys.
Hell nah.
First it started out about 3 of them. By the time they finished, was about 6 of them. They took over the whole pool. Jumping in and out, splashing water, shooting water guns like pistols. Running up and down, and it was a safety hazard for my daughter, cause I wasn't in the water, you know what I mean? And it's just like, where's the etiquette? And the one thing that I've noticed in a lot of these situations is, especially with these young black boys, there's always an excuse. Oh, his father wasn't there, or, you know what I mean? He didn't have, the home training. He grew up in the hood, or he doesn't have any male role models. But it's like, dog, I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. Because when I grew up with a whole generation of dudes that didn't have fathers in the house. I hate to say it, I'm not bragging. A lot of us didn't have mothers in the house. But we still had common sense. We still had human decency. We didn't curse around older people. We didn't disrespect children. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew how to act when we was in public. We still did some knucklehead things, but we only took it so far. And I noticed when it comes to these young black boys, nobody just want to speak the truth sometimes. Like, a lot of these dudes operate on lawlessness. They don't give a damn.
Right.
I'm just being 100. And the biggest thing that I notice is when it comes to black women, a lot of these black men don't give y'all no excuses.
No excuses.
If y'all make one mistake, y'all the succubus, y'all the devil, y'all not godlike, y'all not feminine. All these names, they call y'all every name in the book. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to black men, it's all these excuses.
Right.
And that's very odd to me, because I'm like, well, how can y'all come from the same neighborhood, the same environment, the same circumstances, but if a black woman does something, you know what I'm saying, she's labeled all kind of names. You know what I mean? She's told she ain't worth anything. She's told she's low value.
Yeah, that reminds me when WAP came out, the song, and I heard all these men talking crap about the song as if they didn't have 30 years, 50 years of talking crap about women, degrading women, all of that. They created the environment for women to create the song WAP. I was blown away. I was like, wow.
I mean, it's definitely a lot of truth in that, man. I'm just gonna be 100. I know a lot of black men not gonna agree with me, which is fine. They don't have to. But my thing is, we just got to be real about a lot of this shit, man. That a lot of dudes, man, they participating in creating the same culture that's keeping them behind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, man. And up until now, I didn't see the effects of like hip hop or rap music. 90% of that shit is toxic. I'll be honest.
Didn't you say that Jay-Z, he said that he regrets the song Big Pimpin'?
Yeah, Jay-Z came out and said he regretted a lot of things that he said in Big Pimpin'. But you gotta think, Jay-Z is a 50-something-year-old man with children and a wife. Of course he's not gonna think like that no more. I mean, he's growing, he's evolving, he's into a different circle. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because now he got kids. He don't want nobody talking to his daughters like that. Mm-hmm. Like, he don't want nobody disrespecting his wife like that. Mm-hmm. So he got to put out that same energy. I'm sure at that time he was living a certain life. Right. But as you grow up and you evolve, you realize, like, you know what? I wouldn't do that today.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't act like that today because I see the carnage that it did.
Mm.
And, you know, it just is what it is, man. It don't make Jay-Z a simp. It doesn't make Jay-Z a weak man. This is a man that's thoughtful. He's mindful of what he's doing in life. So, you know, I think that's pretty noble of him to step out there because everybody wouldn't have said that.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
But you got to think about the process of growth for anybody. It's going to come with contradictions. It's going to come with hypocrisy. It's going to come with things that we regret. Especially when we in reflection mode, we look back and this is how men become men and women become women because we look at our past and it's supposed to affect us. We're supposed to lose sleep. We're supposed to feel guilt and shame over certain things. This is the growth process. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay the same forever.
Yeah, we live a life of redemption. You know, so that's true.
So, you know, and I like hip-hop. I ain't got no problem with hip-hop. But now that I'm older and I'm in different circles and different spaces, I'm realizing 90% of that shit is toxic as hell. It's not helping. You know what I mean? It's just not helping. You know? We don't need any more young young black boys wanting to be rappers. What about the lawyers? What about the doctors? What about the engineers? What about the police officers? Entrepreneurs. Like, we don't have to be entertainment all the time. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told. It's just my personal opinion. But, you know, hey, man, I'm not here to preach to nobody. I'm just here to keep it a buck.